Hi everyone, Chris back with another recent vinyl finds video, another bunch of New Zealand records, some new pickups and some second hand. My last video was my Flying Nun collection and that got quite a bit of interest, a lot of comments. Thank you to all of those who subscribed as a result of seeing that or posted comments. It was good to get your feedback. So I thought I'd start off with some more Flying Nun and Flying Nun related records. This is new from the clean, well it's new and old, Odditties. First released on cassette in 1983 and then it was remastered for CD in the mid-90s, but this is the first vinyl release. So this is a collection of recordings from 1980 to 1982, kind of demos, disregarded recordings that didn't make it onto the records at the time, and as I say, released on that cassette in 1983. So there's some really great songs on here. There's some things which are probably more interest than great listening, and it's been released by 540 Records in the States in conjunction with the Clean touring the US. And there's I don't know how many copies, maybe 1,000 copies of this, but there was a limited run in conjunction with the tour of 200, and I was lucky enough, I contacted the label and ordered a copy, not knowing that I was going to get this, and so in the mail I got one of the limited releases. So how they differ is they've got this kind of spray paint here, they've got the strip with the tour dates in here, and the other difference is that these ones, it's a 2 LP set on coloured vinyl, kind of a yellowy orange vinyl, so it was a nice bonus. I didn't know that. Must have been the very last of the limited release because I've got 202 of 200. And now a couple of Flying Nun records, the Exploding Budgies, the Grotesque Singers. I picked this up second hand. So yeah, this is great. Kind of mid-80s Flying Nun and EP, 5-song EP. For me, the standout on here is the song Sunflower, where the words are by William Blake. David Mitchell, who went on to the 3Ds, Ghost Club, Chug, amongst others, was in here. And his guitar playing, it's his artwork as well. You recognise that maybe from some of the 3Ds later work, that distinctive art style of his, so that was a nice find. And this is one of the Flying Nun reissues, the Bats, Daddy's Highway. The classic album of the Bats, just reissued last year on Flying Nun. That's got songs like Block of Wood, North by North, you know, some of their standout Bats tunes. Alright, I also picked up this is from Expressway, another small Dunedin label. It started up by Bruce Russell, who kind of split off from Flying Nun and released more obscure and experimental stuff. Trash were a band from Dunedin. This is their first LP, Gritt and Butts, from 1992, released on Turbulence Records, 1993, released on Turbulence Records, and they might be from Belgium, maybe, Turbulence Records. Yeah, they are. Yeah, great record, and I was pleased to pick that up. Alright, this next one is Black-Boned Angel. This is kind of extreme noise terror. One track per side, really full-on drone guitar noise, and the guy's name I can't remember, but he's also recorded under the name Birchville Cat Motel and Black-Boned Angel and Our Love Will Destroy the World, and yeah, very prolific. But this is nice coloured vinyl, orange with a touch of black going through there. Definitely not easy listening, but if you're into your full-on drone noise, kind of ear bleeding volume stuff, Black-Boned Angel is for you. This is Garage Punk from the Raw Nerves, an Auckland band who've just released this on 112 Records, the same label that just released the great Gay Time LP. and this is, it's different from Gay Time, but not a million miles away, kind of garagey punk, and nice, short, sharp, to the point, great stuff, recorded and mastered specifically to be released on vinyl. They've done a really nice job of it, and yeah, releasing this at a really good price actually. I picked this up for $20 brand new, which for New Zealand is cheap for an LP. They've screen printed the covers themselves, and I think they did a run of 300, and apparently they're getting through them, so probably the best way to get hold of one is to go to their Bandcamp site, the rawnerves.bandcamp.com, and you can contact them there to pick up a copy. Right, what's next? Oh, this is new. I just got this yesterday. Pre-ordered it. They mucked up the order. It took a while to come, but boy, was it worth it. Lawrence Arabia, the Sparrow. This has been getting a bit of international coverage. I heard a track played on the NPR All Songs Considered podcast, a song from this album, The Sparrow. This is Lawrence Arabia is James Milne, is his real name. He's recorded as Lawrence Arabia. He's recorded as the Reduction Agents. This is the third Lawrence Arabia album. He also made an album which I showed a couple of videos ago with Mike Fabulous, called Fabulous Arabia, Unlimited Buffet. But this is a fantastic album. So you've got lots of orchestration on here, strings, really beautiful kind of pop songs, and a lot of the reviews talk about this being a bit darker than his previous really kind of great pop album, Chant Darling. Perhaps, but I don't know. I was listening to it thinking it was going to be really dark because of the reviews, but it's not. It's a really lovely pop album with strings, and he's a great songwriter, so I really recommend this Lawrence Arabia album. Right, okay, this is something I've been looking for a long time. Not because it's hard to find, but because it's taken the band a long time to put it together and release it. It's Escape Songs from the Body Lyre. So what happened was in 2010 the band, the Body Lyre, decided they were going to release an album, and they recorded and put up online on their Bandcamp page one song a month for the entire year, with the plan being at the end of the year they'd be compiled into the LP and it would be released with a booklet and special cover and so on. So all of 2011 went by without the album emerging, and I got hold of the guys of the band and talked to them and found that they had actually put some of these handmade covers together, but it was just such a huge job. It was taking like 2.5 to 3 hours to put each cover together that it just wasn't feasible. So they've actually got the records pressed and they're now looking into printing a cover, but I managed to get hold of one of these handmade ones. And it's a great album. It kind of varies from kind of old country to, I suppose, kind of dark indie pop, kind of some maybe a la the National a little on a couple of songs. So there's this whole kind of folded together paper cover with the sleeve there for the record. I actually end up leaving the record out of this because it's so complex. Little glued on picture there with the track titles. Photo on the front, that's glued on as well. The whole thing folds up like an envelope with a bit of tape there to hold it. The booklets they haven't got done, so he's going to send me a booklet when they get those done. I recommend checking out the album. The songs are fantastic, and I hope that they do actually manage to get it together for a full-blown release of this LP, because lots of people need to hear it. It deserves to be heard. A really impressive album, and I'm pleased that I did manage to get a copy. This is the third in the Bilders reissue series from Unwucht. Sorry, apologies for my German. And this is Schwimmen in der See, and this is a series of re-releases of very limited release 7 inches from Bilders, the Bilders and his various incarnations in the early 80s, and many of them only 100 pressed. And now they're being repressed on 12-inch with reproductions of the cover, screen printed by this German label, and in a subscription series. You can buy them individually, but there is a subscription series, 300 copies of each. This is the third of 4, and one more to come with a special release 7-inch for the subscribers as well. So this is more kind of quirky, left of centre kind of indie pop from the early 80s from Bilders. And each of these, they're really lovingly done, you know, reproduction of the sleeve, tracked down the best copies they can for remastering. You get an insert here, this one's got German translation of the lyrics, the original 7-inch coming out in 1982 in this case. And finally for this video, another reissue of something from earlier days. This is Gate, the Dew line, D-E-W, and this is, so Mike Morley, who you may know from the Dead Sea, records solo as Gate, and this was originally released, I believe, on Table of Elements in 1993, one of a trilogy of what's known as kind of rock albums, if you can call them that. So you've got kind of mostly solo guitar. You know, if you're familiar with the Dead Sea, this won't be strange to you. Mike Morley has got, I suppose, not the greatest voice on earth, but it seems to lend itself to this material, and a lot of the pieces are very long. Interestingly, this is now it's had its first reissue on its first issue on vinyl from a label called MIE, 500 copies, and there's bonus tracks on here that weren't on the original CD. One of the interesting things for me on here is that a couple of those tracks are ones that turned up on Dead Sea albums, and that kind of, I never realised that, you know, I would always imagine that the Dead Sea had gone and improvised in the studio to create stuff, but this kind of indicates that perhaps, like Mike Morley at least, is bringing songs to that band. So the songs Bitcher and Tuba is Funny on here, both appearing on various Dead Sea albums later on, and in kind of versions which, you know, aren't a million miles away from what's in here. So definitely recognisable as the same tunes or the same tracks. So this is great. If you like improvised guitar noise, post rock, this is well worth checking out. This Gate, the Dew line. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. As always, thanks for your comments and your feedback. I really enjoy getting that. And by the time this video goes up, there will have also been another episode of the Counting the Beat radio show, again joined by Andre from Waxed on Wednesdays, so you can check that out. I'll put a link on where you can listen to that radio show too. 100% vinyl, 100% Kiwi. Cheers.